glowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Oh. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
All right. Let me do audio check. All right. Let me do audio check. There we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Spike Kool-Aid for Wednesday, the 13th of November, 2024. Man, where we got some stuff to talk about today. But before we do that, let me shout out the chat. Shout out to Ryan. Great one. Kiera, what's going on? Braylon in the building. Ryan, did it start for you yet? Sometimes you got to leave and come back in. It might take 2 or 3 minutes to start, man. What's up, Sergey? What's going on? Got done with work right in time to catch the live. So you are what? So you early? What time you going, bro? 5? You hear about the hate we get in Derek, Jerry Jones bashing golf on the radio. Hey, Kiera, really? He bashing golf? Really? I need that info because I got to make a video about it. What's up? Jason says, what's up, bro? Stephen A. Smith got us the number one team. I think he had us that 2 weeks in a row, man. Stephen A. Smith, man, can kick rocks, bro. Started 1-8. Okay. So you okay. What is that, 8-2 almost? But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Got a lot of stuff. I got the press conference pulled up. That starts in under 10 minutes. When Dan Campbell starts, we'll talk about that, bring it in as we usually do. Man, Jake Bates wins NFC Player of the Week, I believe it was. It's just been a great 2 days, man, watching the reaction of the Texans, watching I'm keeping track on everybody. And I still follow teams that we've played. So, like, I'll still be watching content from, I watched the Browns, some Browns content because they're talking about Zadarius and then stuff like that. So I stay connected to everything. What's up, Third? What's going on? We need more people like. Let me see. I started working there. I read that. Yeah, I'm looking for the radio show. Oh, it's 10. If you're talking about the one that he went off, 101, 105, it's 105.1 The Fan. If that's the one you're talking about, I'm going off on him today. So be ready for that video. 8-6, but I got 8-6. Oh, wow, okay. Braylon, man, hey, look, bro, I appreciate the call in, man, from the other day, bro. It was passion. I loved everything about it, man. So somebody told me in one of my videos yesterday that the Detroit Lions can clinch a playoff berth if a set amount of things happen. I looked into that. I don't know if that's completely true. It would take the San Francisco 49ers to win. The Lions would have to win the next 3, and the 49ers would have to lose 1. I did the math. Lions have 8 games left. If the Lions win 3, they go to 11-1. the 49ers, I got the NFL playoff machine, and we're going to talk about that as well. I don't think that's the case. So we will look into that, but we'll just chop it up a little bit as we wait on Dan Campbell to come in. But if you guys don't know, over in Detroit Lions Syndicate, every year since I've been, this is year 3. We just had our 3rd anniversary. And every year, week 11, the beginning of week 11, which is Wednesday, the new league week starts on Wednesday. The ESPN playoff machine comes out, and you can go from week 11 all the way up to, you can kind of dictate like how you think games are going to go, and then get the outcome based on those selections. If the game has already been played, you can no longer change it, right? So after tomorrow, the Washington Commanders play the Philadelphia Eagles, and as Detroit Lions fans, we need a Washington Commander win, which is crazy. We needed the Steelers to beat the Commanders last Sunday. This week, we need the Commanders to come out and get that dub. If we win the next 3, that's an automatic clinch, right? Well, we're going to look at that today, B. I didn't see that. I could be missing something. That's why I need you guys' input. But if that's true, they salty. Trying to find it to see here for myself. Okay. I know he calls in on Tuesday. I believe so. And so it might have come from yesterday, Kay. It might have come from there. But yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, Isaiah Thomas is back on the practice squad. He cleared waivers. He came back. I'm happy about that, man. Like I said, I'm not going to scoff at anybody that we signed. I don't care if it's a guy we had. I mean, real talk, I think Charles Harris plays for a team right now, but if he was to come back, like, I don't care. I don't care. Oh, according to the St. Brown Brothers podcast, James Houston did exactly what we think he did. I was like, wow. It was like the funniest clip ever, man. So he said in some Gatorade. I didn't think that was true because, yeah, it literally happened on the field. I would hate to be James Houston right now. I could not imagine. I thought being criticized on YouTube is tough. I could not imagine doing what he did on national television. I mean, St. Brown, they were dying laughing. They knew, listen, they knew it happened while they were still playing. St. Brown said that Monty came up to him and was like, bruh, James Houston is trending. No, he said he went viral. And I'm like, dog, you still playing. And how you know that? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But yeah, it was official. Let me grab my headphones real quick. Man, oh man. I'm telling you what, y'all. It's this one-man show. You know, you ever heard of a one-man band where people are like dun, 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 dun. They playing the cymbals, the kick drum, they doing all that. That's me, man. I am a one-man band, bro, and it is tough. It gets tough after a while. What's up, Jizz? Bro, you done changed your name. You done changed. Okay, so what did CJ Stroud? Y'all gotta clue me into this stuff, because I don't know what was said. I didn't hear about the Jerry Jones thing. I didn't hear about CJ Stroud. What he salty for? Because you blew a wide open. I did see a guy. I forgot this guy's name. And it was just the funniest thing. He did a vlog of him in the Texans game and all that other stuff, man. And it was tremendous. That's a game that me and the wife were supposed to go to. I'm so mad we didn't make it. Man. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Jake Bates. We will listen to Dan Campbell's press conference. Don't forget, later today is when the practice report comes out. So we'll get like the initial kind of idea of who will be missing, who could possibly be back. So a lot of moves happen today. Tomorrow night, we're going to be watching specifically for the Commanders to get that dub, and because that will take some pressure off of the Detroit Lions, which is crazy. Can y'all believe like we're in that point of the season? Okay, I need to go to my bookmarks and bring up Jake Bates. Yep, he won the Special Teams Player of the Week, man. Shout out to Jake Bates and the Detroit Lions PR, man. They funded in the mug. We're going to talk about that as well. What's up? What's up, big dog? Yeah. Yep. So the Detroit Lions, I looked and tried to find out when the last time the Lions would be 9-1, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't see the last time the Lions was 9-1. I don't think we've ever started 9-1. What's up? See, the man says CJ Stroud being salty for someone that's religious. He needs to reread them scriptures on being humble. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he said. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I mean, you can still be salty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can still be salty. All right, looks like the Lions are. Oh, I wanted to say this too, man. The Detroit Lions YouTube channel is insane. When we beat the Houston Texans, when we did the same video on Monday, their YouTube channel had 225,000 subs. It's currently sitting at 230. It's grown 5,000 in 2 days, man. The popularity of the Detroit Lions is insane. The most popular YouTube channel for NFL is the stupid Kansas City Chiefs. Sometimes I wish I was I wish the Detroit Lions were like the San Francisco 49ers or the Chiefs or the Dallas Cowboys. Bro, they just make channels and get subs. We still got a kind of a small fan base. I would absolutely love, man, if I was able to, we had a huge fan base like that. Okay, let me see. That look on CJ's face when the face grid when we made the Ravens hit the field goal on us. Apparently that the NFL wanted us to win that game because there was no call on the last drive. Okay, so is this Jerry Jones or is this CJ Stroud who apparently allegedly? Stop it. I know it ain't Jerry. Come on, bro. He get everything. He get every call known to man. Stop it. CJ Stroud. Really? I need that info. I need to, where can I find that at? I'll just Google like CJ Stroud salty and see what happens. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Waiting on Dan Campbell to pop up now. Let me queue up everything so I can just quickly bring it in. That's crazy. It's funny, man, when people get mad, bro. People get mad and the truth come out. I have to see that CJ Stroud vid. Absolutely. What's up, Nate? Says Nate, Derek, I was thinking, shouldn't we extend Carlton? You know what, Nate? I think we should. It sounds like Dan Campbell, they might want to do that. So the crazy part is, so after the season's over, like, so when the Super Bowl, there's like a month window where technically Carlton is still a Detroit Lion. So even though he is on the last year of his contract, he's still a Detroit Lion until the new league year begins. So we very well could extend him if it's done between that time, or he could hit free agency and we bring him back. So, but either way, I think we absolutely should, man. He actually balled out, man. Got 2 INTs. You watching that CJ Stroud? I mean, if CJ Stroud makes that pass earlier, maybe we don't come back. It would have been like 30 to what? It was 23-13. It would have been 30-13 at that time. So, yeah, absolutely crazy. Great. If the Lions go to the Super Bowl, are you going? So we talked about that the other day, Giz, and I want to. I can't go to the Super Bowl because the tickets are insane. I would have to get like a sponsor or something like that to go. Shout out to Green Gridiron. Maybe they can throw your boy a sponsorship. I'm just saying. I wear the Green Gridiron shirt the whole time I'm there, bro. Holla at your boy, man. But I want to go, like, to be around, but then I'm thinking about it, like, if I go to the Super Bowl, my thing is the Lions' first Super Bowl. Like, when we went to the NFC title game back in the 90s, I was like 11, right? So my thing was I had to witness my team potentially going to their first Super Bowl. Listen, I never asked for money. And I got something planned coming up. I've never, meaning, not asking for money, but it's the opposite of that. I never asked for money. And I was just like, man, if that's why I put my Cash App in the chat that one day. I was like, man, if I can get there, that would be fantastic. But I would love to go, but I'm thinking about it like, okay, the party's going to be in Detroit. Like, that's where the party's going to be at. I'm going to be late. Like, if I went to the Super Bowl and we win that joint, the parade is probably going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's going to be cold in the mud. But the parade going to be that day. So I'll be traveling back like Monday, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about it like, could I miss this? Even if I'm not in the building, could I miss this or would I want to be here? I don't know. I'm so torn on it. I'm trying to find their interviews. Me too. I want to see CJ Stroud video on Jerry's radio show. Yes, extend. Okay, Dan's live. Let's switch.
This is a talented roster. Good coaches, man. Doug does a really good job. I know Ron Nielsen coached with him at New Orleans. Aggressive defense, pretty hard-nosed, but talented bunch here. And so that's one element. The other is just us improving, correcting our own errors and continue to get better every week. And so that's really kind of the start of this day. Questions?
With the offensive line in terms of pass protection, Jerry's been taking a little bit more hits over the last couple weeks.
Some of them just a few things on passing the games clean. The style of play that we face, these up the field defenses are just a little unique, and it takes a minute to get used to them. Sometimes, you simulate it in practice the best you can, but if you're off just a little bit and we're on different levels, then you struggle at times. So. Just some of those. It's there again. It's a technique. Those are about technique and things that are very correctable, and we'll get them corrected.
You got to be pretty good to make it through the NFL. So talent aside, you're about to stretch your teams that don't have the best records, maybe different motivations to play with. How do you make sure your team still handles its business? I guess to make sure they stay in as locked in as possible. Well,
I think no different than what we just. I think we just faced a team in Houston that felt like their back was against the wall. I think they that's how they approached that game, and and they brought it. And I would expect nothing different out of this team. I mean, I would expect we're going to get their best game of the year, and same with the Colts after that. So, and same with Chicago after that. Same with Green Bay after that. So we're going to get everybody's best shot, and you have to understand that we have to assume we will get the best version of what they are and what they're capable of. And so with that, we've got to be on our game, and it really is about yourself and it's about the details, to what we do. And, what we put in for this opponent, it's about the why. Why are we doing what we're doing and the how? How are we going to do it? And that's really the starting point with this week or any team.
Cut cleanly into quarters the way it used to with 17 games, but you have rolled past the halfway point here. Just curious, what are your areas where you feel like you need the most growth here down the stretch run to really solidify who you are and what you want to be?
Well, look, I think, man, I want to feel like we get our efficiency back offensively. We've been efficient in spurts, but get one of those games where, and I'm not even talking about where you're scoring touchdowns every time. You just want to know you're getting out there converting first down. And does that lead to a field goal, or did you have to punt? But at least you're moving the football, because that gets us in a rhythm, and I think that's important. And some of that is, like I said, it's the fundamentals, details of what you do. Some of it is in those details. Man, catch a knife early, right? Get this ball and go north and south. And don't try to do too much early. Let the game come to you. And if we convert the next first down, then that gives us another 3 or 4 plays. Convert the next one, you get another 3 or 4 opportunities. And then pretty soon we gain our momentum, and we're really good about that. So I think that in general, just getting our flow back a little bit. It's not something I'm concerned with, but if it's an area that I feel like we can improve and will improve, that's it.
As a coach, do you almost like having some things to fix? 8-1, everybody's throwing praise, and is it almost good to have some things to fix?
Yeah, but look, I've never been a part of a team that didn't have anything to fix. I mean, all those years in New Orleans, we had some pretty good teams. We always had things to fix. I mean, it was inevitably we'd come out of games and really very similar to now, and you're like, man, this is going to bite us. This is going to bite us. This is going to bite us down the road. This is going to catch up with us. And you just continue to win. And you keep, clean up one thing and then something else may pop up. But pretty soon you begin to eliminate most of those, and you're playing your best ball by the time you hit January. That's really what it's about, as by then you're making very few errors. And ultimately, it's always going to come down to making fewer errors than your opponent, no matter what. That is the most important thing.
He's showing his excitement as well, but have you set any realistic expectations? I know you guys said you're not expecting him to come in and just be hushed, but just this first game, like any realistic expectations of what he looks like?
No, I can't. That's hard to, like, for me, and honestly, I'm not looking at I'm not going to be looking at the stats. I just want to know that he's doing his job and he's as productive as he can be in that. So, no, I can't say that I'm putting these, I'm like, all right, this is what needs to show up in stat sheet, this many sacks, this many pressures. Man, just go in there, and if you do your job and you're able to push the pocket and Pascal gets one or Aleem, and then we'll know you did your job. That in itself is going to count for a lot. And then Pascal will push them to you or vice versa. So I think that's really what I've said it all along. I'm looking for a complementary piece and somebody that's going to be able to help our defense, that's going to elevate us a little bit, and I think he'll do that for us.
Seems like he's really coming on this year. Just curious what you saw out of him coming out of college and how he's kind of continued to grow into what he is now. Yeah,
he's a good player. I mean, you got him on one end and Allen on the other, and we liked Trayvon when he was coming out. He was kind of. I guess raw for an edge defender. He played more of that kind of 4-eye defensive end at Georgia, but he's got all the physical ability you could have. He plays stout. He's physical. He's explosive. He's able to transition into rush. And you're right. I feel like he's grown every year. And he's a handful on the front side. I mean, you try to run at him, and you single him up on some one-on-one, he can be an issue. So he's somebody that we know we got to take care of and keep our eye out for because he is a good player.
Can you share some of what Jared said to you after the game on the field as you're walking off?
He said, we're just different. That's really what he said. We're just different. And I agreed with him. We are, and that's the way we're built. I thought he played really well. I thought I mean, it was good to get him back. I mean, it was noticeable having him back in our rotation on that D-line. He's just there again, even with being off that, week or two, I feel like he improved even from the last time he played. And he is physical on the perimeter. You talk about crushing the edge, setting an edge in the run game, and then push the pocket, transition into rush, chase the ball down, relentless effort. Man, he's us. I mean, and it's one of the reasons he's here. But, now that he's had his chance to really step up and play a significant amount of reps for us, he's making the most of them.
Just go back to the offense. A lot of teams that experience some of the ruts that you were relying, a receiver, relying on a running back to go to constantly. Would it be fair to say that when you're in a rut, sometimes you go to Penei Sewell as kind of your guy to get you out of a funk?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, Sewell is, it goes without saying, Sewell is so versatile. There's so many things that he can do. And everything from, obviously the gap scheme, just really knocking an edge down. We talk about people setting edges. He can just knock an edge down and create a couple of gaps in the defense. But then even on the perimeter, his ability to run and maneuver, and he's just such a good athlete, and he's powerful, and he's nimble, So I think that's fair. And we're fortunate because we have a lot of guys I feel like they can get us out of a rut. Starts with the quarterback, but Sewell and Saint and Dave Montgomery and Gibbs, and J-Mo's getting better. We're continuing to grow. But yeah, he's definitely one of those staples for us.
Being without J-Mo for a couple of weeks, last game he had a couple of big catches on third down. How'd you like the way he attacked going into that game and what you got out of him?
Yeah, I loved it. That was good to see. He went in there and felt like he attacked the football. He really made two outstanding catches. One back hip catch behind him, and then the other one over the middle where he's just getting sandwiched and catches that ball over his head and takes it all the way down for the catch. Those those are big time plays for us. Both of them explosive plays. So it was good to get him back, and to feel like, okay, you didn't feel like you're starting all over with him. That's a good feeling. That's what, we anticipated. That's what we hoped for. Hey, he's going to be all right. He's going to pick up where he left off, and he certainly did that. So love where he's at right now.
How much confidence can James Houston gain from a performance like that, and how have you seen him over the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I think he can gain a lot. It looked different. There was a number of reps that looked different, and it looked like he's beginning to get some of his confidence back. And even in the run game was a little bit better, which is encouraging because he's got to be able to help us there in rotation. We can't. I mean, we can, but we would rather not. Just sap Pascal in those ends. Zarius now and Levi. You want them to have enough to where they got plenty of reserves when we need them. So we need him. But he had a couple of really good rushes. He had one where his get off was, man, and that's what we need out of him all the time. He's got that ability.
Wondering if you had any more clarity on Decker, and then within that, I think we understand why you stuck with Panay on the right side, given how late in the week. But if you had a full week, I mean, is there a preference to have Panay on the blind side in that situation?
Yeah, I think knowing that if that was the case and we were not going to have Decker, I think that was probably where we would go. As of right now, I do feel better about having Decker this week. He was out there at walkthrough going through, and I feel like he's questionable, but I'm starting to feel pretty good about him. I think he's going to be able to make it. Tomorrow will tell a lot. Certainly, that'll be a full speed practice for us. But everybody else is trending the right way. Really, Laporta's the one guy who's not practicing today. Didn't go through walkthrough or anything like that. And like I say, he's day to day. He and Iffy are in the same boat. We just take it as it comes, and if they're ready, they're ready. If they're not, they're not. Okay, thank you.
All right, so you heard it from the man himself, Dan Campbell. So what I got from that was Taylor Decker. I don't know, when Dan says that stuff, man, it seems like they're not going to play. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play. If Taylor, I don't know, because, okay, Lions got, our next three opponents are under 500. And we got the news today that Anthony Richardson is going to start. I don't mind that one bit. I'll be at that game, assuming that the weather is nice. The Lions, I truly believe, are going to win the next three. Ryan brought up trading for Trayvon Walker in the offseason. Trayvon Walker, man, he did something dumb, and somebody mentioned it in the comment section. He did something dumb. The play was over. He's punching at the ball. I don't know if he was frustrated, and he wound up getting a 15-yard penalty that, helped lose them the game. So we've seen our players make dumb decisions, but it's not often. But Trayvon, man, you got to get it together for sure. So shout out to coach for that. Zadarius Smith, seems like coach is kind of just expecting Zeta to, create lanes and opportunities for other players. James Houston. It's funny because I have been really, really hard on James Houston. And as far as James is concerned, my opinion has not really changed on him. I need to see more. But I did like what I saw. And it was funny because 2 years ago, I was talking about I was talking about it a couple days ago, how 2 years ago he made all this noise and he had 7 sacks in 8 games. Well, guess what? The Detroit Lions have 8 games left right now. They got 8 games left. No, he had 7 sacks in 8 games. They got 8 games left right now. Is this the time for James Houston to turn it up? I still don't think he's a Detroit Lion next year. That's just my opinion. But I don't know, man. What's up, Seggy Seg? Says you guys are looking solid, man. I appreciate that. Scott in the building says I think we have the best field goal kicker ever. Yeah, we're going to talk about him. Braylon, okay. Oh, Brian, I'm going to try. Ever since we put the bonnet on, he's been looking good. You like what you saw on James Houston? on James Houston? Mm-mm. And listen, I'm not wearing the bonnet, people. I'm not. If you came from Lion Syndicate, you already know what's up. All right, so let's get this going, man, because I want to get these segments out. I want to get these segments out real quick. Okay. All right, let's get it popping. Let me move this over here. Let me go here, and let's get this thing cracking. All right. Hold on. And some of you will see a double video, just to let you know. All right. Let me move it. I need like a bigger desk, man. Here we go.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
The Detroit Lions went and got a guy from the UFL this offseason. Back in March of 2024, there was a guy, his name is Jake Bates. Was not a field goal kicker, but a kickoff specialist. And he booted 2 64-yarders in Ford Field. One was actually not counted because it was a penalty or timeout, something like that. And he then repeated the process, made the kick. Instantly took the world by storm, especially Detroit Lions fans. With the Michigan Panthers, he was playing right in our house. We all paid attention to it. And at this time, we're going through kickers. I don't know if y'all remember, but a few years ago, Lions went through like 7 kickers. And we wind up settling on Michael Badgley. Michael was huge for us. No, I'm not going to take anything from him. Helped us beat the LA Rams and win our first playoff game in 30-some-odd years. Got hurt this year. But before that, Brad Holmes did something that he usually doesn't do. I'm sure he didn't do this on purpose. It just was coincidental. The fans were screaming for Jake Bates to be a Detroit Lion. And I was one of the first people, if not the first person, to make a video about Jake Bates being a Detroit Lion. And he is not disappointed. The dude is clutch. Yeah, they were close to not going in on Sunday against the Houston Texans, but they went in. And Dan Campbell said it's just like they were right down the middle. A win is a win. A field goal is a field goal. Even if it doinks and goes in, which we've seen a ton of this year, it's still a field goal that's good. Jake Bates, coming from Lions Twitter, I like this headline, says, "From bricks to kicks, Jake Bates wins Special Teams Player of the Week." And this is he now joins 2 other, I think it was Jason Hanson and Matt Prater, to win Special Teams Player of the Week. Now, you get the reference. Just 2 years ago, not even, he was selling bricks. He was a brick salesman, not like going door to door, but I guess he was in a shop and he was selling bricks, and he thought his NFL career was over. Look how good this dude has been. He is 100%. Let's look at his stats real quick. Dude is ridiculous. Let me blow this up because it's too small. There we go. That's what I'm used to. 100% field goal percentage. He has not missed a field goal. He's missed 1 extra point. He's tied for first in field goal percentage, 97%. It seems like the shorter the kicks are, the more he struggles. His long was 58 against the Texans this past week. That's tied for 7th longest this season. And he's got 74 points. The Lions, and I got to say something as well. Shout out to the guys at Pride of Detroit. Every last one of them was absolutely destroying Jake Bates. Jeremy Reisman. I know he was. But it's funny because we talk about the fan and how we don't know anything, right? We were behind Jake Bates. I was behind Jake. Even in training camp, they didn't want to get a guy a job. They did not want to give him, Jake Bates, blah, blah, blah. The dude has missed 1 extra point. He's the best kicker we've had since Jason Hanson. Right now, he's better than Matt Prater. The dude has missed 1 extra point in 9 games. All right? Jake Bates is the truth. Lions signed him to a 2-year deal. They knew something was up. They saw something in this kid. And remember, when Dan Campbell was being interviewed about Jake Bates, they said they trust him. They trust that he can make these kicks. Jake Bates had no competition during training camp at all. Once Badgley went down, we did not bring in another kicker. We did wind up working out. We put Greg Joseph on the practice squad, but then he wound up getting poached by the Giants. So we brought in a reserve kicker just in case something happened to Jake Bates, and we still are in a sticky situation if it does. Hopefully he never gets run into, pops a hammy, anything like that, right? Never has to make a tackle that can get him hurt, and because we don't have any backup. But this is our kicker. We signed him to a 2-year deal. When was the last time a kicker who has never taken a field goal kick in an NFL game had a 2-year deal off the street? And here's the thing. Here's what makes Sunday against the Houston Texans, Week 10, so glorious. He actually was cut by the Houston Texans in favor of the current kicker they have. Goes back to Houston, his hometown, and becomes, I think it was the first player, I don't know if it was in NFL history, but it was the first player to kick 50-plus field goal kicks to tie a game and then to win a game. It was crazy. This is the dude's first season with the Detroit Lions. He's 25 years old. He's going to be around for a long time. So kudos to Jake Bates, man. Welcome. Glad to have you. The Lions finally found their kicker.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Shout out to Jakey Boy Bates, man. Jakey Boy Bates. Let me see. Only missed one PAT. Jake is from Houston, of all things. Bates is Mr. Clutch. I'm loving the Houston jokes that are funny. So according to St. Brown, the St. Brown Brothers podcast, it sounds like he did. David Montgomery comes over, tells Saint that James is going viral. This is during the game. And I'm like, how do you know this? Somebody on the sideline must have a cell phone. So it looks like. I always believed in Jake Bates. Absolutely. I wish they would have kind of kept the pass rush from the UFL too. Hey, Ryan, I don't know. Look, that's James' problem. He got to deal with that and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not a good look. He did comment on Twitter and say it was Gatorade. You know what's crazy is I feel like the Detroit Lions are going to make another move, but because of where we are in waiver priority, it's going to be tough to get a guy cut from another team. So the only thing we have, here's what the Detroit Lions are going to have to hope for. Somebody is waived, put on a practice squad, very similar to Isaiah Thomas, and then the Lions go over there and snatch him off. That's one thing that they could probably do. I would love to see Jason Pierre-Paul part of this team. I mean, at this point, he's not going to hurt the team, right? You can bring him on the practice squad. He could be very similar to Bruce Irvin because right around this time last year, we signed Bruce Irvin. And I feel like we could bring in JPP, man, give him one last run. He got Super Bowls. He got 2 already. It wouldn't hurt, man. I would love to see him as part of this team. What's up, Antonio? And Antonio says Drake London used to be a Lions fan. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. If you really did, the more reason to switch up the marshmallow soon. The Seahawks waived their linebacker Dotson, which I think may have been leading in tackles at another. Yes. So Kiera, he was leading the Seahawks in tackles, and he was claimed by a team already. I made a video yesterday. I forgot what team it was, but he's been claimed already. He's off the board. In base we trust. What's up, Mark? All right, let's talk about this guy, man. Yeah. See, I keep up with all that stuff. It happened yesterday. Yes. Yep. Dolphins. Yep. He's been claimed by the Dolphins. That is correct. That's right, because I let my Dolphins guys know. Yep. Dolphins claimed him. The Lions are not going to, the only way that the Lions are going to claim anybody is if their contract is ridiculous and the Lions are willing to take it on. We are 31st in the waiver wire. We're not going to get anybody. We're not going to get anybody worth 2 cents. The only Isaiah Thomas cleared waivers and is back on the practice squad. That's how tough it's going to be. That's why I'm saying go get Jason Pierre-Paul, man. Even if Lions got 8 games left. We got 11 if you count the bye week or the first seed, the Super Bowl, all that stuff. We got 11 games left. Jason Pierre-Paul is still a guy you can sign. And don't forget, John Kaminsky might also make a return in December. So, oh my gosh. Okay. off the top of the head, how many? We get eight elevations from IR. How many have we used? Broderick and Emmanuel don't count toward the 8. How many have we used already? You know what? I wasn't keeping track. It's got to be at least half, right? John Kaminsky would be one. We put Jalen Reeves-Maybin on IR. He would be one. Wait a minute. And wow, wait a second. Aiden Hutchinson would be one. Now, if you get to the playoffs, you get 2 extra IR slots, meaning you can move 10 people up. We're going to the playoffs, obviously. So, in essence, we get 10. So, I think, here's what I think. Wow, I think Hutch is going to be one. And honestly, I think Kaminsky. Wow. One says, yeah, we get 8. So you get 8. Listen, this is no disrespect, Roland. Ndamukong Suh is done. He is not officially retired. He said last year was going to be his last season. He didn't play. I don't think he played last year, and he is not. Ndamukong Suh is done. He's like, yeah, I think he's done. I will say this though, Calais Campbell is like 40 years old. And he's still doing the thing. So I wouldn't put it past Sue. But you got to remember, man, this guy would have to stay like J.J. Watt. He's physically fit, but is he in football shape? He hasn't played in 2-3 years, some crazy like that. So he would have to come in and get accustomed. You got to think about this. Is Ndamukong Suh in football shape? Like, Jason Pierre-Paul is trying to play. So he's out there like Xavier Howard doing those drills and stuff like that. Like Yannick Ngakoue was doing before they brought him to the Ravens. Okay, so Emmanuel Mosley and Broderick Martin were designated to return. So they didn't count toward the 8. Those 2 don't count. But then outside of that, you have 8. If he was 1, John Kaminsky would be another one. Jalen Reeves-Maybin. You have Aiden Hutchinson. So you've got 8, and then you get another 2 if you make the playoffs, which we are. Football shape is way different. That's facts. Campbell said we have 11 games left yesterday during his interview, Super Bowl. Yep. That would be the 8 games we have left, the bye week, the divisional round, the NFC title game, and the Super Bowl. Listen, if the Detroit Lions hold on to this first seed, we're going to the Super Bowl. Ford Field will be insane. You thought it was loud last year? It will be off the chain, bro. I wish I had season tickets. I really do, man. I'm getting on a waiting list in 8 days. 8 days, I'm getting on the waiting list. I hope that I can get on there. I can go to this coming season and get first dibs on playoff tickets, bro. I'm telling you, if you can go to the playoffs, even if you stand, if you can afford it, it is the most. Last year was insane. But this year, an actual could you imagine? I promise you, there's no team in the NFL, in the NFC, that's going to beat us at Ford Field. There's no team in the playoffs that's going to beat us at Ford Field. It's going to be 70,000 people in there. I think they added some seats for that. JPP will be a great addition for third down, and we use 5 so far. Okay, Michael Jordan, appreciate you. Okay, so this is what that means. Think about this. Wow, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, Aiden Hutchinson, and who else? One more. That's 8. John Kaminsky. That's 8. So then we'll get 2 more for the playoffs. That's crazy. Crazy. Okay, let's get into, let me see. I talked about him. Let's get into this. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. There's a guy that I've been super tough on, man. That's just how I do, right? Super tough on. Came out, was nowhere to be found for the first 11 games of his rookie season. I'm sorry, the first 9 games of his rookie season. Actually was cut from the team when it came down to 53-man roster cuts. Was put on the practice squad. And later that year came out and took the world by storm. People were calling him better than Hutch at the time, James Houston. Got hurt year 2 in game 2 and was not really the same. Now, you guys know I haven't really been huge on James Houston. I think he's one-trick pony. He is too small to be doing what he's doing. However, if he can bend around you and he can get around you, he can make an impact. And that's what he did on Sunday, week 10 against the Houston Texans. Got a long way to go to build my belief in him, but it was good to see, and I'm not going to take anything away from what he did on Sunday. But the question is, can James Houston? A lot of you guys have been asking this question. I don't think, my opinion is that he will not be a Detroit Lion next year. His contract is up. I think he's going to be like Charles Harris and Julian, where he just doesn't get signed. He'll find a new team, and he'll be on a different team next season. But this season, while he's still with us, he's got a chance to help make an impact. But will he is the question. So he wound up getting his first sack in, a year and a half since the 2022 season. He got his first sack, where he had 7 sacks in 8 games back in that season. Of course, he was hurt for most of the year last year. Then he came back and wind up helping us in the NFC title game and all that other stuff. I think he was on a playoff run. He helped us, but he was really not a non-factor. So my thing is, how much can James Houston help us heading into this stretch and including the playoffs? He'll be a part of the team for the rest of the season. This is what he's done so far. 25 years old, got a lot of potential, 6th-round pick again, did not make the 53-man roster, was cut. Malcolm Rodriguez, his draft pick mate, was taken a little bit before him. He made the 53, but James did not. He's got 4 solo tackles, got his first sack in almost a year and a half against C.J. Stroud, which, listen, James Houston is great at a couple things. He's great at pursuit. So if you have and I would like to see him out there in that type of situation, meaning if you have a quarterback with some speed. There were times, a couple of his sacks was him chasing down Justin Fields, chasing down him. It's ironic that he's probably going to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is where he kind of came. No, the Buffalo Bills game was where he sacked Josh Allen twice. But he also took down Trevor Lawrence. So this time he's going to have to deal with Mac Jones because Trevor ain't playing. That's already been confirmed. He's out for a second straight week. Is James Houston going to be able to, A, get back to his 2022 glory, or B, just help us and make an impact? Dan Campbell in the press conference today had very good things to say about him. You could see, said something about his confidence. We've been talking about that, his confidence, and he looked like his confidence was kind of shot. And sacks and having a good game can go a long way. Again, not raining on James's parade. I still think the same thing. He would have to make a massive jump in ability. What James did against the Texans in Week 10 is what we know he can do, right? The thing is him usually getting manhandled by offensive tackles. But if he doesn't, if he can get around you, he can make a play. And he did that on Sunday versus the Houston Texans. So I'm wishing James the best. I want him to make an impact. I want him to set himself up for next year. I personally do not believe it's going to be in Detroit. I just don't think so. And I think his exclusive rights, that thing is ended. So he'll be just an outright free agent for next season. So James, right now, James is auditioning with a chance to possibly win a Super Bowl. If we win a Super Bowl, James will be part of that. And that's quite the accomplishment to be on your rookie deal heading into probably a new team. So that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below. All right, what are we thinking about James Houston? My opinion is James was not changed. He needs to show me more. What's up, Jay Mommy? I think that Wingo will be taking that spot. James isn't playing, plus Ringo isn't a one-trick pony. You know what, Jay Mommy? Wingo is small. You know what, Jason? There's a Justin Houston who is actually – he's out of the league right now. He's like an older guy. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm actually surprised he's not in there. Zadarius Smith Truther. That's funny, man. Bates saved us that game, no doubt. If James Houston can be better at setting the edge and not going over in pursuit, he can prove to be more helpful this last stretch of the season. What's up, E? Says, what up, Derek? Hey, Lions family. It's so nice to have a reliable kicker with distance. Again, I haven't felt like this since Jason Hansen. You know what? Matt Prater was solid. I'm going to all the playoff games, front row, middle row, and then I went to a lot of games last year. Hey, I'm trying to go myself, bro. I might have to stand, even if I can get there. Shout out to, bro, yes, Sione Vaki. With the 2, he was tackling somebody. Man, he was getting blocked and tackled somebody. It was crazy. Crazy. All right, so here's something I wanted to talk about as well. Let me close this tab so I can know I talked about it already. Okay, This one is pretty fun. I got to minimize this. How long we been on? We have been on for... Okay, perfect timing. Perfect timing. D-line Houston, bruh. James needs to go. Hey, Luke, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. He's not. The Lions are, I really don't believe they'll bring him back. They'll go out and find somebody. I'm going to be honest. I think Marcus Davenport comes back before James Houston. And right now, I think they might. I think they might bring back Marcus Davenport. I truly believe that. My hope is that they sign Jason Pierre. Just bring him in, bro. Give me. But Jason Pierre thing, he got 2 Super Bowls, and like I said before in last week's segment, if I'm on the practice squad, let's say I'm JPP and I'm chilling, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna sign here if y'all plan on cutting me. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, bro. I say this. This is what I say. I say, look, give me the opportunity to prove myself. I have 3 elevations. Let me show out. Okay, maybe I'll make them a deal. Maybe I'll make the Lions a deal. I say, listen, if I can get 2 sacks in 3 games in 3 elevations, or if you really feeling frisky, I'll be like, listen, I get a sack a game, a sack per elevation. You sign me to the 53. That's or you bring me back to the practice squad. You waive me, you bring me back. But the thing about that, here's where things get sticky at. If Jason Pierre-Paul is claimed off the street, he's put on a practice squad, he burns his elevations. So the Lions go through all 3. He is waived, right? And I think he still has to clear waivers, even though he's on the practice squad. So if I'm JPP, I'm like, yo, give me a chance to actually be on the roster. Like, real talk. Y'all about to win it all this year. Give me a chance to get my 3rd one and retire a happy man, right? So I would hate, because I feel bad. Maurice Alexander, he's on the practice squad, and he's probably going to be waived in 3 games. Like, I'm just like, bruh. And could you imagine, like, the Lions win the Super Bowl, and you literally were playing, that we went in February, and 2 months earlier you were on the team? That has to suck, man. That has to suck. All right, so let's do this last segment, and then we'll wrap up the show. Okay, let me bring this in. This one's going to be a little tough because I'm going to need you guys' help in this segment. So I'm going to actually be looking at the chat. Sometimes I don't look at it because I don't want to lose my place making videos. All right, so this one's going to be about how we can clinch the playoffs. All right, I'm going to need you guys' help to help me see, because I was told something today, but I don't know if that's actually true. I might make a video also on Detroit Lions Syndicate about it. Do you have Cameo? My dad is a fan of your channel and want to get him personalized happy birthday. Eric, I do not. I don't have Cameo because I don't want to tell somebody no of things I can't do. But hey, you don't need a Cameo, bro. What? And listen, give me your dad's name. Give me your dad's name and I'll shout him out. Shout out to Pops, man. They gave us an 80% chance of winning. Then Michael 64. Okay. Well, listen. Michael, your son, Eric, is in my chat today. Said you're a fan of the channel. I appreciate that. Said that you are 64. I'm right underneath you. You probably could be my dad as well. Maybe you are, man. Shout out to you, Michael. Congratulations on being 64, my friend. I hope to get there soon as well. Been wondering what the game will be to clinch. What's up, Big Watt? What's going on, man? All right, so let's do this. So I'm going to need you guys' help because I didn't see that today, all right? Man, feels good to be a Lions fan, right? We've been there from the dirt. I deserve every blessing I receive. I'm from the dirt. Popular song lyric. Y'all probably don't know about that song, man. That song right there, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm just not. But it's a song that I hold near and dear to me. Back in the day, I was struggling. I deserve every blessing I receive. I'm from the dirt. The Lions fans are from the dirt, bruh. We are the first team in the NFL, in NFL history, to lose 14 games. We're not talking about the 70-something 16 games. We're not talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from back in the day. We talking about 16 games, which, believe it or not, 16 games started in 1978. I think it was the year before I was born. And it ran through for like 40 years. 40 plus years, it was a 16-game season. Now they're saying that the NFL might go to 18 games in the regular season in this collective bargaining agreement. Why am I talking about the history? Why am I talking about from the dirt? Because the Lions, 2 years ago, we started 1-6, made a push. We needed help to get into the playoffs. Last year, pretty much was doing our thing, had a chance at the number 1 seed. We know what happened there. Wind up getting in the playoffs. It was certain. Winning the division for the first time. Hosting a playoff game at Ford Field. All of that stuff, right? This time, the Lions have an opportunity to do something they've never done, which is have the first seed. The first seed, which guarantees a bye week and 2 games before you get to the Super Bowl. And those 2 games are played in Ford Field. With that being said, the ESPN NFL playoff machine releases every single week 11. So Wednesday starts a new league year. It's out. If you Google it, it'll still say 2023 playoff machine until they update it. But it's out. It drops every week 11, the week it starts, which is Wednesday. All right. Somebody put in the comment section that if the Detroit Lions win their next 3 games and the San Francisco 49ers lose 1, then the Lions will clinch a playoff berth. I did the math. I don't know if that's true, so I'm going to need your help. And if you're watching this in video form, then put it in the comments below. We'll try and figure it out in real time. Here is the NFL playoff machine. I love this thing. I've been using this for 6 years. I was using this before Lion Syndicate was still a thing, when I was a wee lad starting off on YouTube. Long time ago, which was 5 years ago, but in internet terms, 5 years is like 50. It's insane. You go through a lot of friends too. It's insane. On YouTube, that is. So here is the playoff machine. And as you can see, the Detroit Lions are in the first seed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's what I think the Super Bowl is going to be. I think it's going to be these 2 people and these 2 teams, and that's going to be outstanding. All right, so I'm going to go through as quick as I can. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win. All right, I think the Commanders, we need the Commanders to win. They will be on the road, but we need them to win. That game will happen tomorrow night, Thursday, the 14th. I'm also going to I'm not going to announce this because it'll take too long, so I'm just going to run through this. I'm going to try to be non-biased. I do think, spoiler alert, the Lions are going to win the next 3 games. They're superior, and I'm done with trap games. I'm done with cowering. Nope. The Lions should beat this team. That's no doubt about it. So I'm going to run through these real quick. Let me see. Go through these. I don't think the Raiders win another game. That's just my opinion. As much as I hate to do this, don't worry, I'll give San Francisco a loss. And these are my actual teams that I would actually pick. Let's go to week 12, which is next week. I don't know if the Browns win another game either. I don't know if the Giants win another game. All right, week 13. So that's 2. Lions are 2-0. And so far, the 49ers are 2-0. Remember, if the Lions win the next 3 and the San Francisco 49ers lose at least 1, then that's what the comment said. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Jets are terrible. All right, this is the loss that I gave them. Ugh. Okay, I think they win. We'll do this. All right, so that is what I was told. That puts the Detroit Lions at 11-1, okay? The San Francisco 49ers, if I did it just like this, if the games went just like this, they are currently out of the playoffs, all right? So what that would mean is that the Detroit Lions have 5 games left. Played 12, 11-1, 5 games left. The Green Bay Packers would be, if it goes like this, would be 8-4. But this is more about the San Francisco 49ers, right? So 8-4. So I don't see how they secure a playoff berth now. Because in order to secure a playoff berth, you cannot be lower than the 7th seed. Right now, if the Detroit Lions lost, if they lost 5 in a row, they would be 11-6. Green Bay, if they won 5 in a row, they would be 13-4, right? So this is why I don't know how you could do that there. So let me cut here real quick. So am I saying that right? You were using this when we were 1-10. Hey, Bucky, you remember that, bro? Yes, I was. What he's referring to in the chat, Bucky in the chat. The Lions were, oh my God. Let's go back. While y'all putting that in the comment section, let's go back to 2021. This is a true story. Shout out to you, Bucky. I forgot all about that. Back when the Lions were 0-10-1, all right? I was using the playoff machine. It was, check this out. It was a 1 in 800 billion chance that the Detroit Lions could make the playoffs at 0-10-1. They needed so many things to go right. How right did they need them to go? Listen, this is going to blow your mind. You had a bigger chance of getting struck by lightning twice. That's how the odds were. That's how great they were. I'm going to say that again. You had a better opportunity to be struck by lightning twice than for the Detroit Lions at 1 in 800 billion to make the playoffs back in 2021. It was possible, but it was like, it went whoosh, it was gone. Just like the next week, it was gone. But hey, I was also using this when the Lions were 1-6, and y'all was talking about me. Y'all was talking about me, man. It was funny watching y'all come on. And we got so far behind that we couldn't bring ourselves back. We had to rely on a different team. I was hoping they made it, man. It was crazy. Check this out. The Lions, had they made it to the playoffs back in 2022, after starting 1-6, they would have been the second team in NFL history since the 1970 Cincinnati Bengals. So isn't it kind of crazy that they had a chance to break that back 2 years ago, and this year with that win over the Houston Texans, they also broke a 1970 record. Okay, let me see. Adam with the dono says, Lions have head-to-head wins over Rams and Seahawks, but don't over Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay loses one more time and we get to 11-1, we'll clinch. Okay, so it's not the 49ers. So you're saying Tampa Bay. Okay, let's go back. So I'm going to keep it like this, and let's go back to, let's make Tampa Bay. So you're saying keep it like this, but we change a Tampa Bay. Okay, they're on their bye week this week. All right, so let me see. Who could they beat? Panthers any given Sunday. You know what? I'll say the Panthers beat them. It's a division game. I'll say the Panthers beat them. All right, so let's close that and let's see. Okay, did I read that right? All right, so, but I still see the same thing. So let's see, how could this actually happen? Let me go back to Green Bay. Let me put Green Bay, and let's see who could upset. This is a division game. Let's see 49ers. Okay, now we might be cooking. We might be cooking, right? Lions are 11-1, still got 5 games left, but even now we couldn't clinch, right? Because the Lions could still drop. They can still drop. So I think that we can't do it until week 14. That's what I think. Because we don't forget, we play the 49ers. So that could be an issue as well. We also play the Packers again. So I think it's week 14, but you guys can go and you can look in again, just type in ESPN playoff machine. It'll say 2023. It might be updated to 2024 by the time you look, see what you can come up with. But the comment was, if the Detroit Lions win the next 3 games against our next 3 opponents and the San Francisco 49ers lose 1, the Detroit Lions can clinch the playoffs. That would be week 13. I don't think they can do it till 14. That's just my opinion, but let me know down below. That playoff spot, which means we cannot drop out of 7th, right? And then we're talking about the NFC North, and then we're talking about the NFC in totality. Let me know. All about the head-to-head. Yeah, but at this point, but even now, right? I stopped the video. But even now, in week 14, if the San Francisco 49ers are 7-5, if the 49ers could go 12-5, and the Detroit Lions could go 11-6. So if the Detroit Lions, okay, let's do. I didn't want to drag that video out. So let's go to 14. We beat the Green Bay Packers. Let's see. I don't think the Browns win another game. I really don't think the Browns win another game. Let me see this. Let's go here. Let's go. I think the Tennessee Titans will beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me see. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, here's how it could go. If the Lions, a.k.a. the villains, are Super Bowl bound, the Lions got a 99.9% chance of making the playoffs right now. Yes, Gabe, they basically cannot, they would have to fall out of, who do San Francisco play the next 3 games? They play Seahawks coming up, Green Bay, week 12, and Buffalo, week 13. Holy mackerel, that's going to be crazy. We have head-to-head tiebreakers over Arizona too. Okay, listen. Head-to-head only matter if your record is the same. That's all that matters. If your record is higher, right? So the way that I was looking at it is the San Francisco 49ers are our biggest competition the way that I did it. But check this out. If the Detroit Lions win the next 4 and the San Francisco 49ers lose to the Buffalo Bills and let's just say one other team upsets them, which they could. The Bears could upset them, all of that, right? We will now, I pulled it up. This is when we would clinch a playoff spot. There's many different scenarios, but this is just one, all right? Lions would be 12-4. I'm sorry, 12-1. The San Francisco 49ers would be 7-6. No matter what happens, right? They cannot, the worst we could be, even if we lose to the 49ers in week 17 or whatever it is, they still cannot be greater than 11-6, even if they beat us. So we could literally drop every single game from here on out and clinch the playoffs because the worst team to make the playoffs at this point would be 11-6. So that's why. So I don't think we can clinch it till week 14, honestly, which is still ridiculous. Clinching the playoffs at week 14 would be insane, but that's just my thoughts. So I will make a video based on this right here. Titans will beat the Vikings. In my opinion, you have to look at these things, and the NFC already has a few 7-loss teams. If we go 11-1, the Seattle Seahawks and Rams will get in over us, but Tampa Bay could remember to beat Arizona. We have the head-to-head tiebreakers over Arizona too. I believe that the Bills will beat the Chiefs this week. So do I. I cannot wait to see that happen. Chiefs will probably clinch before December. That depends, bro. That depends on if the Buffalo, I have them losing to Buffalo. So let me see. They got 3 games, right? They might. That means if we, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. We already have a spot reserved. Okay, Lawrence, unofficially we do. Because no team has yet been eliminated. That, you know what? That's a better question. When does the first team get eliminated from the playoffs? Is that going to be this week? That's going to be crazy. I thought they would lose to Denver, to be honest, but they did. They should have. They should have had them. If Forsyth doesn't get blown out, then, you know, the Chiefs are 8-1, which is ridiculous. I can't stand them fools. I cannot stand them fools. Anyway, that's the show, y'all. Appreciate you. Again, if you're watching this on playback or video, well, if you're watching this on playback, put in what you saw. And, yeah, we'll go from there, man. So we'll be back on Friday doing our preview as usual and go from there, man. I appreciate y'all. Let me do this. Let me switch. And, yeah, man, videos coming out on Lion Syndicate, man. I'll see y'all on Friday. Have a great day. Let me cue this up first. Yeah. See you Friday.
This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. 1, 2, 1, 2. Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard top, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright, alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, oh,